Hello. As we know, Todd and Julie Chrisley were found guilty of bank and tax fraud. That bothers me, but the evidence was allegedly put down in court, and they're facing up to 30 years in jail. I doubt if they get that much time for that offense. After all, they didn't kill anybody. But I was hoping for a different turnout. I don't know what I expected. I didn't expect them to get totally off. I know that they did have businesses and money even before Chrisley Knows Best, the show. But when the money started coming in from the show, allegedly they kept, doing these schemes. So of course I have concern for the younger children, Chloe, the granddaughter, and the son, Grayson. But they have Chase and Savannah and the other older sister and brother to look after them. So they'll be fine. And of course, Todd will appeal. And it is what it is. Seeking Sister Wives. That show is something else. I know people don't necessarily want to hear about color. They're uncomfortable with pointing that out. But there's this black guy named Nick with two women who take care of him. They happen to be white. One is a manager, one is an IT manager. And he stays at home playing video games and from this show thinking about the third wife to come. Now, it looks like he's not married to either one. Not even the first one who's been his love of his life since they were younger. Maybe when she was 14, definitely in college. The two women worked together. The first person in his life and the second one. So they married each other. So they had a commitment ceremony. And he says that makes them, equal footing to each other. And he went on this date with this third party, this girl, who is not nearly as attractive, I must admit, than the other two. The second one resembles the first one. The first one is a little heavier. She does have a son. It is not his son. And that teenage boy, who also happens to be a mixed guy, he was looking at him at that table, things sometimes are made up, of course, for TV, for my enjoyment. And he was looking at him allegedly like, you're making my mom look bad. I don't like this game you guys are playing. So I don't know if it's made up or what. Because I just don't see why these two grown women, reasonably attractive, would want to be in some kind of polygamy relationship when they're both very capable of taking care of themselves. And they're not getting anything, apparently, the way I see it, from this man other than intimacy. To each his own. And of the other relationships in there, the more familiar one with Garrick and Danielle. I was surprised that I didn't see Roberta. I was surprised they were living in some kind of trailer. And that's because the family has turned their back on Garrick. And Garrick cannot be a part of the family business any longer, so he couldn't stay in their house. And Roberta is not with them because of the pandemic, and she's also taking care of her mother. But they're looking for a third companion just the same. Now, I noticed how Danielle was like, Roberta is so upset about this. Bert is just jealous and, suffering from low self-esteem, or what have you. And she said that over and over, and I said, of course they're getting money from this show, and they probably will be out of that RV or whatever it is soon. But I couldn't help but to think Danielle is paying Roberta back because of what Roberta and Garrick took Danielle through. Really, Garrick took Danielle through. But because of what they took Danielle through, she's like, I'm going to make Roberta go through it. That's what I think. And because she said over and over, Roberta wants to be here before we take in a third wife. And when they picked up that third wife from the airport, you know, beauty, again, is in the eye of the beholder. Garrett says she's pretty, so okay. She happens to be a sister, an African-American. And I think from the way Danielle acts, she's very happy. Like she's put on, you know, an inch or two. She has that beautiful highlighted blonde hair. It's very long. And this girl doesn't compare to her, honestly. And I don't think she's threatened at all about that girl. She just wants to upset Roberta. And I'm sure if Roberta was there, once she took a look at this girl too, she would be like, of course we're doing this for television. I can't even, you know, see Garrett really being into her like that. But again, to each his own. This African-American girl, she says she's from a polygamous family. It's what she's accustomed to. It's just that her first relationship didn't work out. And then there are probably 2 other couples. My whole thing is I'm already recognizing, you know, what happened with Sister Wives, Cody and his 4. I'm not sure why anybody would really want to do that or would pretend that they're happy in those kind of unions. But again, to each his own. I watched my friend Bobby Brown every step I take on last night, and he's preparing for the tour and the Vegas gig with New Edition. And I hope, you know, that it turned out well, that he did shed a few pounds. And I didn't know he had had a heart attack, so I was sorry to hear that, but grateful that he's alive. Bobby and your wife, Alicia, it is okay for your son, the little guy, to not want to do ballroom dancing anymore. Not that he has totally come to his peak with it and he's the best that he could possibly be. But it's okay to be well-rounded, as you said yourself, Bobby. And well-rounded means changing up. So if he want to do hip-hop because he's inspired by you, Bobby, and it just, you know, it intrigues him, let him do that. I mean, you and Alicia kept on trying to push him to possibly doing both. No, let him also get this down. Let him do his best with hip-hop dancing the way he did with ballroom dancing. And then later on, like you said, if he wants to go back to that, so be it. And Landon, Bobby's son, you sound like me singing. I mean, I have a lot of nerve trying to talk about somebody who can't sing. But I think you need a voice coach. I see it. I can hear it. You are not bad, but you definitely need a voice coach. If your dad really allowed you to be a backup singer, as he said, it's because you're his son and he just wants to encourage you and do right by you. But as soon as you can, Landon, get a voice coach and work on that voice. Because I hear it, but it just needs to be tweaked a lot. But I'm not trying to discourage you. Who am I? Okay, I'm almost at work. I enjoy talking to you guys as I do every single morning. Guys, have a great day and an even better future. Signing off, Teach Jackie. Bye-bye.